Have anything you like. It's all good.
We just don't get to see you enough.
When you're ready to share a family meal, come gather around our table.
Take time
at Shoney's, we're America's dinner table.
I'm gonna have the shrimp.
We pile it on and serve it up and put it on the table.
Tonight, we're treating you to dinner.
Shoney's, America's dinner table.
Barry Teague has been your hard-working U.S. attorney and state prosecutor who put corrupt public officials behind bars. Barry Teague has fought for your rights since you elected him your state senator by a 3-to-1 margin just last April. Barry Teague works as he campaigns for your vote, or leaves literature at your door, or shakes your hand as he asks for your vote. The secret to Barry Teague's success? It's really not a secret. It's work.
WCOV-TV, Channel 20, Montgomery.
This is Newsroom 20 at 5, Montgomery's first look at news, sports, and weather.
Good afternoon again, everybody. I'm Kim Wanis reporting. The state's financial health is in the news again today. Governor James says reports that some state agencies are going broke are exaggerated, and the state's finance director, Rex Rayner, agrees that while there is no cause for alarm, the state needs to cut back on spending. Danita Wood has more in this report.
Dr. Rex Rayner says he warned lawmakers 2 weeks ago that the state must tighten its belt and eliminate conditional appropriations as much as possible, explaining that a downturn in tax revenues has put the state's money plan in trouble. Rayner has eliminated all non-essential state travel and instructed state agencies to cut expenditures where possible. But Alabama's chief financial officer says due to the conditional appropriations required under federal court order for agencies like prisons and mental health, it's hard to determine exactly how critical the money situation is.
Now, we still have to contend with the mental health system and the prison system, as well as others. And so, whether or not we could hold the line precisely or not, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
But what it does, it indicates that we, like other sectors in our economy, such as private businesses, and you read every day where there are wholesale layoffs by the private sector. And so we had mentioned as a possibility that we may have to have some layoffs next year, not this year, because we'll certainly get through this year.
Referring to some legislators' charges that layoffs by the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board are political plot against state employees, Rayner says the ABC board should be commended. Explaining Alabama's budget expects a profit from the state-owned liquor stores, he says computers made it possible to save money in operation. Rayner says some may try to exploit the serious budget situation for political purposes, but he said the ABC board is not unlike any private business that needs to be run for a profit. Danita Wood, Newsroom 20.
Two members of the Montgomery legislative delegation are asking Governor James and ABC Administrator Joe Broadwater to stop the planned layoff of scores of ABC employees. In a news conference late yesterday, Representative Cecil Wyatt of Raymer and Representative Charles Langford of Montgomery told reporters they are against the layoffs because the move will hurt the local economy.
That unemployment in Alabama is the highest it has been in the history of this state, except during the Depressionary years from 1929 until 1940. And this is no time for the state of Alabama to be laying off people and adding to the problem of unemployment.
Wyatt suggests the employees be retrained and put to work in other departments that are short-handed. Langford says he hopes the governor and Broadwater will reconsider the decision because of the negative effect the cutback would have on the Montgomery economy. The lawmakers both say the impact would be millions of dollars. ABC Administrator Broadwater plans to lay off 118 workers in ABC stores that are losing money or just breaking even. The ABC is required by the legislature to make a profit. Attorney General Charlie Graddick is standing firm on a refusal to release the file on his 1979 investigation of Prattville city government to City Council President W.A. Glover. In a letter, he says everyone who should have been indicted has been indicted, and he adds that he will not allow the file to be used for political ends. We have more on this story live from Angie Wilson.
Kim, Attorney General Charles Graddick said the probe in Prattville resulted in the indictment and conviction of 4 city officials or employees for misuse of public funds. Glover asked for the file in an August 13th letter. He said 10 other persons were mentioned in the auditor's report, and in his words, I think we need to know what extent all these people were involved. He suggested that former Prattville Mayor C.M. Gray should have been among those indicted. Graddick told the City Council president in the letter that he appreciated his concern with public corruption, but Graddick said that every person against whom a criminal charge could have been brought was indicted. As Graddick put it, from your letter, it appears you're disappointed that former Mayor Gray was not indicted and that you feel this amounts to a whitewash or cover-up. The Attorney General's letter went on, you have been told repeatedly that charges were brought against every person who committed a crime. I will not allow the fruits of an investigation by my office to be used for political ends against Mayor Gray or any other person. Glover calls Graddick's decision to refuse to release the information whitewash. Kim?
U.S. Senator Jeremiah Denton and Congressman Jack Edwards, both Republicans, were the only 2 Alabama lawmakers voting in favor of the $98 billion tax bill that cleared both chambers yesterday. Voting against the proposal were Congressmen Ronnie Flippo, Bill Nichols, Tom Bevel, Richard Shelby, Albert Lee Smith, and Bill Dickinson of Montgomery. And also voting against it was Democratic Senator Howell Heflin. Back with more in a minute.
Every day, Winn-Dixie is stocked with low-price weekly specials.
We stock them, you buy them. We stock them, you buy them. We stock them.
We're stocking weekly specials like Sunbelt paper towels. 2 giant rolls are $1.
You can really stock up on savings.
We stock them, you buy them.
Save 40 cents a pound, while fresh fryer leg quarters are just 39 cents a pound. We've got WD brand lean ground beef for $1.29 a pound, so you save another 40 cents a pound.
Fantastic.
And Winn-Dixie will save you $1 a pound on a WD brand boneless sirloin tip roast. Only $1.98 a pound.
Don't miss this one.
10 pounds of Harvest Fresh white potatoes are $1.39, and that saves you 50 cents.
Winn-Dixie weekly specials. We stock them.
I stock them.
Right. You stock them. You save.
Right.
Winn-Dixie.
Now more than ever.
We're right for you.
There's a brand new load of Wrangler jeans coming to Bargaintown, USA. And now through Saturday, Bargaintown, USA is unloading men's Wrangler jeans at $3 off our regular low prices. 100% cotton Wrangler no-fault denim for the fit that doesn't forget. Boot and Western straight-leg styles at $3 off during the Wrangler Wagon Train sale at all Bargaintown, USA stores through Saturday.
Nice place, Shoney's. Gets even better.
Okay, Roy, you get the chicken fillets.
And I get the steak.
And no, Fred, you're the fish dinner.
And the soup and salad. But that looks good.
At Shoney's, we're America's dinner table.
At Shoney's, we've got something for everyone. We serve all your favorites, and it's all good.
It's a good thing we came to Shoney's. This boy can eat.
Shoney's, America's dinner table.
On tonight's broadcast, all the pieces for peace in Beirut are in place today as the PLO frees 2 Israeli captives. That clears the last obstacle to PLO evacuation. And correspondent Diane Sawyer profiles presidential envoy Philip Habib, the man who negotiated the peace agreement. We'll have the details later on the CBS Evening News, so stay with us.
The Alabama Supreme Court has ruled against a daycare center's chain bid for a property tax exemption. The unanimous ruling today says KinderCare Incorporated must continue to pay the taxes because they do not meet state criteria for educational facilities. Montgomery-based KinderCare operates 725 daycare centers nationwide. In another ruling today, the High Court is requiring First Alabama Bank of Montgomery to repay several customers more than $2.6 million lost through imprudent investments. That affirms a lower court ruling on losses claimed by Charlotte Kyle Martin, Kathleen Gerson, Gloria Parker, and Virginia Weldon. The money will be repaid at simple interest. Health officials in the state are watching for additional cases of sleeping sickness here in Alabama. 2 horses, one in Troy and the other in Prattville, died of the illness. And although no human has been reported with sleeping sickness, certain types of the disease can infect humans. The mosquito is the villain that carries the disease. Auburn Extension Service entomologist Roy Ledbetter has some tips for fighting the pest.
We've been hearing a great deal about encephalitis recently. Most of this has been concerned with horses. However, St. Louis encephalitis does attack humans. It is prevalent to an extent in Alabama. We have the mosquito carrier, the southern house mosquito. St. Louis encephalitis cases normally occur late in the summer. It is during this period of time that large populations of the southern house mosquito is prominent. This particular species of mosquito breeds in artificial containers and any water that is polluted. Now, the basic approach is to eliminate, for all mosquitoes, is to eliminate their breeding sites. And secondly, use insecticides. We do have registered and recommended insecticides to use to control mosquitoes that's safe to people and to the environment. At this particular time, the best approach to controlling mosquitoes is for you as the homeowner to eliminate all sources of standing water on your property, and for the city and the municipality, or a combination of same, to initiate organized efforts to control the adults and the larvae.
About 80 citizen soldiers are going through a mock activation exercise in Montgomery this weekend, preparing for their roles in strategic exercises next month in Germany. The Army National Guard's 167th Data Processing Unit, based in Montgomery, will be installing and operating computers for the annual training exercise. To prepare for the upcoming event, the weekend soldiers are going through the procedures for mobilization this weekend at the Fort Taylor Hardin Armory. The Montgomery unit will be joining regular Army units in Germany for 3 weeks. More than 19,000 soldiers and 29,000 tons of equipment will be transported to Europe for the exercise. For 800 U.S. Marines, exercises in Lebanon will be the real thing. President Reagan today announced that the Leathernecks are on their way to Beirut to assist in the evacuation of PLO guerrillas.
After declaring the crisis in West Beirut has been resolved, President Reagan formally announced the dispatch of 800 U.S. Marines to assist in the evacuation of the PLO.
Our purpose will be to assist the Lebanese armed forces in carrying out their responsibility for ensuring the departure of PLO leaders, officers, and combatants in Beirut from Lebanese territory under safe and orderly conditions. The presence of United States forces also will facilitate the restoration of the sovereignty and authority of the Lebanese government over the Beirut area. In no case will our troops stay longer than 30 days.
Later, at his first news conference, Secretary of State Schultz appeared to deliver a message aimed for Israel.
Morning.
He urged the complete withdrawal of Israeli troops still occupying southern Lebanon, as well as the resumption of talks on the future of the Palestinians.
At this moment of time, with the bloodshed and the damage done in Lebanon freshly in people's minds, is a time to work hard on this, because people must be able to see that the alternative to a reasonably peaceful situation in the Middle East is not a pleasant thing to contemplate at all.
Still, Schultz indicated the Reagan administration is ever wary about the prospects for achieving a full Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon anytime soon. Schultz predicted the negotiations will be complicated and difficult. How long will it take, he said, I can't tell you. Rita Flynn, CBS News, the State Department.
Former President Jimmy Carter says he has it from Israeli sources that Israel got a green light from the Reagan administration to invade Lebanon. Carter told newspaper editors in Atlanta today that very knowledgeable people in Israel told him the Israeli government got, as Carter put it, a green light from Washington to invade Lebanon. But when asked if he knew that for certain, Carter replied, I don't have any way to know. Let's go to sports now with Jerry Carpenter, who is sitting in for Bob Barnes.
That's right. The Atlanta Braves won last night, and the Chicago Cubs did a favor for the Atlanta Braves this afternoon. The Cubs edged the San Diego Padres 3-2 up in Wrigley Field, knocking the Padres a full game behind the Atlanta Braves. The Los Angeles Dodgers lead the National League West by 3 games going into tonight's action. The Braves, as mentioned, 3 games behind L.A. The Padres are 4 games back, and the San Francisco Giants are 5 games off the pace. Taking a look now at our scoreboard for the schedule for the rest of the action around the major leagues tonight. The Montreal Expos have been given the go-ahead by the Houston Astros to talk to recently fired manager Bill Verdon about the possibility of taking over from Expos manager Jim Fanning. Verdon was fired 2 weeks ago and has indicated he may not wish to manage again. The Boston Red Sox have called up Brian Denman, a 26-year-old right-hander who recently pitched 2 shutouts for the Pawtucket team of the International League. Denman, who is 7-4 with Pawtucket, may get his first major league start on Sunday against Oakland. To make room for Denman, Bob Ojeda is expected to go on to the disabled list or to be sent down to the minors. Ojeda fell in the shower in Anaheim, California yesterday and is being flown back to Boston to be examined. Team doctors also will take a look at Dennis Eckersley, who had to leave in the 3rd inning of last night's 8-5 loss to the Angels because of a sharp pain in his pitching arm. 2 years ago, the Cleveland Browns rallied from behind game after game en route to the Central Division title in the AFC, but all that changed last year as the Browns suffered through a 3-13 season. This preseason, however, it looks as though the cardiac Cleveland Browns are back. The evidence, a 17-16 win last week versus the Detroit Lions, and last night's exciting come-from-behind victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Last year, Southern Miss quarterback Reggie Collier became the first college player to both rush and pass for more than 1,000 yards. That accomplishment brought him a 9th place finish in the balloting for the Heisman Trophy. This year, Collier will again push for the coveted trophy.
When you talk about Heisman Trophy candidates for 1982, one guy that comes to mind is this man, Southern Mississippi quarterback Reggie Collier. Last year, Collier put his name in the NCAA record book by becoming the first player in history to both rush and pass for more than 1,000 yards in a single season. Collier says he enjoys the luxury of both phases of his game.
I do whatever I have to do. If I have to run the ball, I'll run it, to the best of my ability, and then if I have to throw it, I do the same thing. So as far as any preference goes, I really don't have any.
Well, he's the best in the country. I think most people agree, and he can get on the corner with a football better than any quarterback in America.
Last year, Collier finished 9th in the balloting for the Heisman. Right now, he says he's not thinking about the trophy, but instead, the season.
I just feel that if we win all our games this year, and if I do some of the things that we done last year, I will be in the running for it.
For CBS News, I'm Rich Roberts reporting.
And Kim, that's tonight's sports.
Terry. According to many of the state's black leaders, this year's gubernatorial race may depend on which candidate receives the black endorsement. That will come during this weekend's meeting of the Alabama Democratic Conference. Newsroom 20's Kevin Raymer talked with one local black leader today and has this report.
State Representative Alvin Holmes of Montgomery says he's confident that Alabama's black vote is strong enough to put the state's next governor in office, and he believes tomorrow's gubernatorial endorsement by the ADC will tell the tale. Holmes says there's been speculation that most of Alabama's blacks are supporting former Governor George Wallace, but he contends that's totally untrue.
George McMillan and Joe McCorkadale and Jim Folsom, who's running for governor, they all are fine individuals, and certainly we're going to make the most appropriate decision tomorrow. But I can say to the people that we have not made any decision in this state to support Governor Wallace for re-election of governor, and that's totally wrong if people think that.
The lawmaker says the ADC is looking for a governor that will be fair to all Alabamians, and he says that means appointing more blacks to state offices.
We're looking for a person that's going to be governor of the state of Alabama, that's going to be fair and honest toward all of the citizens of this state, regardless of race, creed, or color. And we just don't want a governor for the whites, a governor for the blacks, but a governor for all the citizens in this state, and going to treat citizens right and appoint blacks to public office and boards and commissions in this state, as well as the appointment of whites.
Seems that although Holmes would not call any names, he did say the ADC is leaning toward certain candidates. The Black-wing Democrats will meet at the Montgomery Civic Center tomorrow to endorse political hopefuls for the state's 7 constitutional offices. Kevin Raymer, Newsroom 20.
We'll check out the weekend weather scene when we come back.
Under Governor Wallace, community colleges and technical schools were built within commuting distance of every Alabamian. That's leadership. Forward-looking leadership that gave thousands a chance to get a better education.
As governor, I will give our schools and colleges the support they need to train our young people for the jobs of the future. We did it before, and together we can do it again.
Vote for Wallace. We need his leadership again, now more than ever.
You gotta go to Gaylords.
Gaylords back to school sale and Saturday. Ladies denim or corduroy jeans by Lee, just $19.88. The new hit fashion sweatpants and tops, just $8.88. Entire stock outerwear, 20% off. Entire stock men's and boys Fruit of the Loom underwear, 30% off. Prestone antifreeze after rebate, just $3.19 a jug. Castrol 20 W50 motor oil, just 90 cents a quart. For savings like these, you gotta go where the go-getters are.
You gotta go to Gaylords.
1, 2, 10, 20? How many crunchy fried shrimp can you eat? Sizzler invites you to find out. We're serving all the delicious golden fried shrimp you can eat. And we're even throwing in a juicy steak, broiled any way you like it. So come to Sizzler for a steak and all the shrimp you can eat, but only if you're hungry for a really, really big meal at a shrimp of a price.
The McAdams carpet buyers are back from the Atlanta market, and that means a galaxy of factory direct savings for you. The makers of famous Galaxy carpets and durable and so-forth nylon have authorized McAdams to pass on tremendous discounts to you. Plus, during this aftermarket sale, McAdams will give you free padding and installation. This sale absolutely ends Saturday. Famous Galaxy carpets made of and-so-forth nylon at tremendous discount prices, plus free pad and installation now at McAdams Carpets on the Eastern Bypass.
And now here's Kay Nettles with a look at the weekend weather.
Another day across Alabama. We had plenty of sunshine, plenty of clear skies, but it doesn't look like our weekend weather's going to be quite so gorgeous. A cold front is moving into Alabama. It's bringing with it some cloudy skies and a chance of some afternoon thunder showers. Nothing too serious, just the usual dog days we've been having here for quite some time now. Current weather conditions show the barometer is at 30.14. Humidity is at 57%. The winds are northerly at 6 miles an hour. We have sunny skies here in the capital city. Now, thunderstorms took place all across the central portion of the U.S. today. Thundershower activity taking place from the Central Plains to the Mississippi Valley region all the way into the North Atlantic states. You can see the reason. It's this cold front which slices through the country. Now, we also had thunderstorms down along the Gulf of Mexico and in the South Atlantic region. But other than that, down south, it was a gorgeous sunny weather in the southeast today. And this high-pressure system was the reason it dominated our weather in this portion of our country. Out west, though, it was raining today in Idaho, Washington, and Montana. Cloudy in Southern California, but for the rest of the west, they had sunny skies there as well. At 2 o'clock in California, they had both our hot and cold reading. It was 60 degrees in Arcata, California, 116 in Palm Springs. Let's look at our satellite picture, and you can see some of the cloudy weather associated with this cold front on our map. There it is right now. You can see frontal clouds continuing to move east-southeastwardly, stretching from New England to the Central Plains. Portions of the Gulf and the South Atlantic states also remain virtually cloud-covered. Now, the temperatures across Alabama are not too warm at this hour. We have sunny skies across the state. 86 in Huntsville, 87 in Muscle Shoals, 85 around the Port City and Mobile. It's 84 in Dothan, Birmingham has the warmest reading, 89 degrees there, and 87 in Montgomery. We have sunny skies. Our forecast calls for some more of these partly cloudy skies. Fair tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, and tomorrow night with thunder showers likely. The low tonight 70, the high tomorrow 90. There's that slight chance of afternoon thunder showers. The low Saturday night 70, and the high Sunday only 88. And Kim, that's our weekend forecast.
Thank you, Kay. We'll be back with a police story in just a minute.
Do you know me? I'm the state senator who led the fight to save the windfall oil monies. Although I've probably won more fights here over the past 12 years than Muhammad Ali, most voters don't know me well enough to be in my corner. That's why in my campaign for lieutenant governor, I carry this card.
Sonny Callahan, a successful businessman with the legislative experience it takes to be an effective lieutenant governor.
Alabama's winning card. Don't go to the polls without it.
Henderson Truck Sales is pleased to announce that in addition to the Peterbilt truck, they're now a dealer for Volvo White Truck Corporation, offering sales, parts, and service for Peterbilt, Volvo, White, Autocar, and Western Star trucks. The salesman at Henderson Truck Sales will show you their complete line for service and repairs. You can rely on their service department. Get just what you need in the parts department. Henderson Truck Sales offers parts and service on Caterpillar, Cummins, and Detroit diesel engines. Heavy-duty towing is available. A trucker's best friend is Henderson Truck Sales, your Peterbilt and White truck dealer.
It continues at A&M. This Philco 13-inch color portable for just $1. This 19-inch Color Right 2 portable, some with remote control, $1. Or this 25-inch deluxe console, just $1. Rent to own any color TV from A&M, and your first week's rental is still just $1. Phone 264-1339 for same-day delivery. Call 264-1339 now. Super low rental rates continue at A&M Furniture Mart.
Get ready for the back-to-school blast with Soul and Sonic Force. Monday, August 23rd, Sports Acres in Montgomery from 4 to 10 p.m. along with special guests the WHHY Birdman, Kenny J and the Jocks of WXVI, plus Dr. Love and the Candyman Roadshow. It's all happening Monday, August 23rd in Ridgecrest on the lake. So get ready for an evening with Soul Sonic Force and Planet Rock along with special guests. Tickets are now on sale at both locations of the African Head Shop. $4 in advance, $5 at the gate.
For years, a gadget called the Fuzzbuster has been the motorist's answer to police radar, but now state troopers are getting smart.
Perhaps there is no more disheartening sight on the highway than the sight of the state trooper car as you go speeding past. A ticket can be awfully painful to the pocketbook. That's why some people put radar detectors in their automobiles. Now New Jersey State Police are cracking down with another device in this duel of highway electronics. It's a small $15 switch that activates their radar instantly. So by the time your radar detection device spots them, they have already clocked you. Trooper Bob Felicito provided a demonstration using a trooper car as the speeder.
Okay, she's coming up the hill. Instant on. Got a violation.
You see, New Jersey motorists are not complying with the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit the way Uncle Sam thinks they should. And if New Jersey does not bring 50% of its drivers down to 55 miles per hour by the end of the year, the state could lose up to 10% of its federal highway money. People who sell the radar detectors say the troopers' instant radar is just another sneaky, smoky trick to give people tickets. It may cut into some sales, they say, but not most.
Radar detector is not a license to speed. A radar detector is an advanced warning device that tells people, hey, look, they're sitting down the road. Why are you speeding? So, again, it's a safety device.
Roseanne Coletti for CBS News, New York.
Finally, witnesses say a man who walked into a Miami welding shop today and shotgunned 8 people to death was as calm as he could be during his bloody mission, walking outside the building twice to reload. Miami police are still trying to identify the victims. The witnesses say the gunman was middle-aged and scruffy, wearing a Panama hat and baggy pants. And when he left, the inside of the white cinder block building was a blood-spattered scene of gore. Besides the dead, 3 people were wounded. The still unidentified gunman rode away on a bicycle, his shotgun cradled against the handlebars. Witnesses say at least 2 cars gave chase. 1 ran down the bike. The gunman was killed. There'll be more on that coming up next on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. We'll all be back tonight at 10. We'll look for you then.
9:20 at 5 is Montgomery's #1 early news program.